Right. Speaking about recent releases, what do we got coming out next week? We got Batman v Superman: The Ultimate Edition.
Yes.
Coming out next
Yes.
week.
August
It's gonna
5th.
be 3 hours.
August 5th,
Batman v
Suicide Squad.
Superman.
Suicide Squad, August 5th. That too.
That too.
Yeah.
But also coming up sooner, like obviously we're going to talk about this a little bit, is Batman v Superman, the TV extended edition release.
Yeah, it's
3 hours. Excuse me. Woo.
If you're out there and you're watching us right now, I want you to write to us and tell us how it improves the story.
Tacking on a half an hour to already convoluted movie.
Does it?
Tell us the ways in which it makes it a better movie. I really want to know.
Like I said, me and Jared were watching a few reviews today, and the only thing the guy was mentioning is how they have an extended desert scene in the beginning of the movie with Jimmy Olsen, where apparently like Superman blows up a drone or something like that on the way to saving Lois Lane.
Do any of you know where we were watching that earlier? Do you know where that image of Jimmy Olsen came from, where he has the gun pointing down on him?
That looks like a John Romita.
Yeah, it does look. Yeah, it did kind of look like that.
It looks like a John Romita cover because he did Superman for a minute in the New 52.
To me, that felt like some kind of we're going to try to establish a legitimacy to the fact that we offed Jimmy Olsen in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Which is like kind of brings me to that whole point of like, listen to podcast episode 28. We're back on iTunes. I want to mention that real briefly. We're actually back on iTunes. Gotham City Gazette. Check us out on iTunes. Subscribe. And we have episode 28 on there, which is where we actually talk about our review on Batman v Superman. I want to touch on it a little bit because I want to talk about the extended scenes.
Yeah.
But obviously, they have a little more. They have another thing the guy brought up was the more extended scene with Clark Kent.
Yeah.
How Clark Kent's actually investigating Batman. And
that I'm down for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the further he investigates Batman, the more he realizes that he doesn't really like mesh with him altogether.
If they had left that in, they might have achieved the Kevin Smith problem, where he didn't feel there was enough heart in the Man of Steel.
Which I think is a cop out because they're kind of what the synopsis of that movie is. What the synopsis of Justice League Part 2 or the Justice League movie coming out is that like Batman is all of a sudden. I think we talked about this a little bit in the last podcast. Batman is all of a sudden like redeemed, like he's like, I have hope again, and I like want to care, and like
I've never had a problem with the Superman. I would have loved to have that the part where he's doing investigative journalism because that's the side of his character we saw in the comic books quite a bit. I would have liked. I'm okay with him having that because then it explains why he's so eager to prove that he's not a menace, right? And so and if you want to have the desert scene. In fairness, I argue that the desert scene didn't need to be in there. They needed
altogether,
to.
Just as a whole.
They could have still been busting his balls over Metropolis. It was convoluted. It didn't belong. It was like another writer came in. So let's create this. All that aside, if you show the investigative side and him starting to not like Batman, and then it explains why he's got a hard-on for him so badly, right?
And I guess still, I really ultimately don't think that the way they got together, the way the Ultimate fought, didn't make sense at all. Like, how did they have?
There wasn't enough of it, right?
Hard-ons for Batman?
Yeah.
Well, the fight, honestly, another thing the guy pointed out was hella funny. It was a 3-hour movie.
It's family, and then it's not.
And it's not. And honestly, I realized that on iTunes we're under PG or something like that.
We belong under PG.
And I was listening to one of our podcasts, our last podcast, and we say fuck a lot. And so, like, I need to put that in.
You said it just now.
I know. We can't help it. We're going to say it at least 10 times in this podcast.
Dude, we are raw. We are uncensored.
And we're talking about Batman v Superman.
We're talking about Batman.
I'm so worked up anyway. Yeah. And I just want to swear about it anyway. But like, essentially, it's 3 hours. It's a 3-hour movie. There is still only 8 minutes of Batman and Superman actually fighting.
To Jenna Malone, I really want to say I'm sorry. They have so totally played you out to this big friggin' thing, and I hope they paid you well for whatever 8 minutes you were cut from, because that's just.
She's probably only in like she's a lab assistant. And it's on like the lowest. More extended.
She looks like an ad for iZombie, which is on CW, by the way.
She does.
Yeah.
And it's another. They're gonna have more pointless Lois scenes.
I just feel bad for the lady. I mean, there's a girl. She's a good actress. And she got.
I actually have not
shafted.
Seen her. I haven't seen her in much. Like, what is she? What have you
I just remember Donnie Darko. That's the one I talked about earlier.
Apparently, she was in that really messed up film that just came out recently about.
She needs to fire her agent because that was a raw deal.
Right. Well, she's friends with Zack Snyder. I guess she's cool with Zack Snyder. But it's funny. This all being said, I'm still gonna buy the DVD on Tuesday.
I've already got it pre-ordered. You see, that's how they get you.
Buy it.
It's Batman, and we got to get it.
You know you're gonna buy it, Darren.
Yeah. Oh, of course I'm gonna buy it.
Of course
I'm not gonna like.
That's what I always say. Marvel's got this and they've got that, but the one thing that they don't have is they don't have Batman.